everybody. I'm here today to talk about Harry Potter. I've been trying to keep Harry Potter to the minimum on my channel just because there's so many other books I want to talk about, but I got the idea for this video and I haven't been able to stop considering it, and so I was like, you know what, I just gotta sit down and make this video. So I'm gonna be talking about my favorite infrequently discussed Harry Potter characters. So they're not even secondary characters, maybe tertiary, my favorite tertiary Harry Potter characters. I don't know, I'll probably just say secondary because that's the most understandable, but these are my favorite Harry Potter characters that are not among the main characters, but who I still love with all of my heart. I picked my 5 favorites, and that's who I'm gonna talk about. So these are all characters that are like really well developed or really funny or who I love for various reasons, but who are not talked about a lot. The first character I'm going to talk about is Fleur Delacour, who I love. So basically, you think about it. She is this girl from France. She came to live in Hogwarts for a year to participate in the Triwizard Tournament. She was chosen and she competed, and while she did finish in like last place, she was still chosen out of everyone else from her school. And then because she wants to continue to learn English and develop her life in the UK, she takes a job at Gringotts where she's going to have to learn a new language, make new friends. Basically, she completely changed up her life, which is very brave. It's like moving abroad, and then she fell in love and dived absolutely headfirst into the huge Weasley family and managed to juggle her relationships with all of them. And while they didn't all like her at first, she did eventually win them all over. And then she becomes an integral part of the anti-Voldemort movement and creates a space for Harry and Ron and Hermione and Griphook and Luna to stay, and takes up arms against Voldemort, and this against the stereotype that had been placed on her, which is a half Vila, half human, feminine girl who finished in last place at the Triwizard Tournament. Like, she was put into this box of femininity and then really proved herself to be really incredible, and I think that that is very cool. Who I love very much, and not just because she loves Hagrid, although loving someone because of how much they love Hagrid to me is very legitimate, but also she has been struggling with this anti-giant prejudice for her whole life and still rose to the ranks of being headmaster of Beauxbaton. And so I think that that's very cool. And although she struggles at first with being in a relationship with Hagrid because of how readily he embraces his half-giant past where she still kind of denies it, she still pursues a relationship with him and even goes to the mountains to find the giants with Hagrid. So goes on a months-long journey through the wilderness to help Hagrid in his efforts in the anti-Voldemort movement in the Order of the Phoenix. So although we don't know that it ultimately worked out with Hagrid and Olympe, I think that she's still very awesome. She dealt with prejudice her whole life, she's the headmaster of a prestigious school, and she's very brave and adventurous, willing to put her life in danger for something very important. Next, Lee Jordan, the Weasley twins' best friend. Basically, the reason I included him in this list is because he's like a super loyal friend to Fred and George and is integral in the like Hogwarts anti-fascist movement. He's very funny and very friendly and in on all the jokes, helps the Weasley twins develop Weasley's wizard wheezes, and still when they go off and found their store, they leave him behind and he stays at Hogwarts, and then he is sad because he has his friends gone for his last couple years at Hogwarts, his last year at Hogwarts. So basically, I love him and I feel bad for him and having been left behind, although I'm sure that that was his choice because they were like best friends, but still I was sad to see him sad because he's just like a cool guy, and he's not as well developed a character as Fleur and Olympe, but he is like always present and always there for Fred and George, and I think that that is very good. Next, I gotta talk about Kingsley Shacklebolt, one of the most important members of the Order of the Phoenix. He, in addition to being like a really cool dude in general, proves himself in multiple moments to be smart and capable, absolutely worthy of the position he holds in the Ministry of Magic, and he is possibly, if not most likely, the most important member of the Order of the Phoenix that has an in at the Ministry of Magic. And so He's very important in the Order of the Phoenix, and he's always kind to Harry, and he seems to be friends with Dumbledore and likes Dumbledore's trickiness. Basically, I think that while he's not a super well-developed character, I would read an entire series just about Kingsley Shacklebolt. Like, for real. I think that he's like that cool and interesting, and I wish that he had been better developed, but I love him just as he is as well. And last but not least for this particular video, I'm sure we'll talk about many other Harry Potter characters in the future, I'm going to talk about Pomona Sprout. Pomona Sprout, who I love. You don't see a lot of Professor Sprout in the books, especially in the later books, but I love her so much just for how she treats Neville. Neville, who was bullied so badly by one of his other professors that that professor became his worst fear, despite having parents who were tortured into insanity. Like, you would think that's the worst fear, something to do with that, but no, it's the teacher who he has to deal with all the time who bullies him. So in contrast to Snape, who is a bully and a terrible person, you have Professor Sprout, who's very encouraging of Neville and who makes sure that all of the other professors know that Neville is talented when it comes to herbology, tells Lupin right away that Neville is skilled when it comes to that, and encourages him to continue to pursue herbology, and talks to him about the new plants that he's excited about, and makes sure that he can take the highest level herbology classes. And basically Professor Sprout just goes really out of her way to encourage and help Neville cultivate the one interest that he really loves and that he's really good at, which is herbology. And I love her for that. Neville had to deal with way too much, way too much, and so I'm very glad that he had Pomona Sprout at least on his side, encouraging him and trying to make other professors see his value as well. So this was just a short, fun video for me to film where I can talk about Harry Potter and talk about Harry Potter characters who are not discussed enough. If you have any favorite non-main Harry Potter characters, please let me know below. Maybe you could make a video about your favorite characters and why. I would love to see it. Please let me know what you think about the characters that I chose, about characters that you love, about anything to do with Harry Potter. Literally just say Harry Potter and I will listen to anything you have to say. I had so much fun filming this, and I'm excited to film other Harry Potter related videos in the future. Thank you for watching. Bye.